He told me he'd cut me if I didn't do it. What's happening, YouTube? My name is Immortal Coil, and I owe a lot to Ivan Ortega. This guy actually spurned me into YouTubery, along with a couple of the other channels that I follow. But it was the reaction video to his Star Wars The Last Jedi teaser trailer that actually got this whole ball rolling. And to this day, that video is the one that this channel has the most views regarding. So we're going to continue to follow Ivan's progress on this project. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ivan Ortega has taken it upon himself, out of sheer love for Star Wars, la pasión, to tender to an edit of The Last Jedi, which I think, if you're on a channel like this, you know is complete garbage. So I have purposefully avoided watching this trailer while I got my last few videos done, because I knew that I wanted to come to it with a fresh pair of eyeballs, and I didn't want to sit there and think about it for a few days. I want the reactions to be pure. Links to the original reaction video, as well as to Ivan's channel, will be in the description below. And we'll do like we did last time. We'll just go through the trailer and break it down point by point. So, without further ado. In 3, 2, logo.
What do you know about the Force?
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I'm afraid.
May I?
I don't know what it is, what to do with it. And I need help.
You need a teacher.
Fuck yeah, you do.
The seed of the Jedi Order lives. As long as it does, hope lives in the galaxy.
We have suffered many losses in the attack, and we suspect there is a spy between us.
The lightsaber is not a weapon. It is an extension of yourself, just like the Force.
Beginning of their end. Destroy it.
You must find a balance, Rey, between
Yes! Train!
and the dark.
This is the war part of Star Wars.
Reach out with your means.
Even sing.
I know my son was gone.
No one's ever really gone.
Fuck yeah. That's good. that gets me wound up for Ivan's actual cut. So let's go by this. Let's go by the highlights. First, we get the Lucasfilm logo, which every proper Star Wars movie should have. Then you get Ivan's Daiji let you know who made this shit. And then something extremely important, Luke handing back his father's lightsaber. Once again, like, he has his own. We saw that. But this one no longer is mine. It calls to you. And then this made me grin. The 20th Century Fox logo. Now, in A New Hope and the original trilogy, the Fox fanfare was as much a part of the setup for the Star Wars theme. Okay, you had the drums, and then bum ba bum 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 bum, and a little bit of silence while you read that a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And it kind of like draws you in, and then suddenly, bing, ba-da-bum. So I'm hoping we see something kind of like that. And actually, since Disney has acquired Fox, we might get that for episode 9. I hope so. Because to me, like, that, it's also a color scheme thing. Okay, the Fox letters are orange, and then the long time ago is blue. So it's like you're going immediately from hot to cool. As well as getting onslaughted by John Williams' masterful score. Fucking symphonic. Okay. Then we see that Rey is struggling with whatever's going on. So she seeks out Rey on Octo. We get a glimpse that there's something fucked up that happened between Luke and Kylo Ren. Leia's crying. Her son is gone to her after the death of Han Solo. You need a teacher. And then we go to Snoke. So we have this like teacher-pupil relationship, the master and the student. But you have one that's operating on a, let's call it a larger view of the Force. And then we have one that's purely focused on the dark side. And I'm curious to see what Ivan does with Snoke. And then this is important. Rey is training. She's putting effort into whatever gift she had. Because, I'm sure Michael Jordan was good at basketball when he was a kid, but he played every fucking day. So flying through the air and, being who he was a product of raw talent, yeah. But it was also because he worked his ass off. And yeah, maybe he was an asshole in real life, but, can you play basketball better than that? And this really stole my heart too. Admiral Akbar, only mentioned in passing by somebody who didn't even know him. And we really needed, especially if he's fated to die, we needed to see him. We needed to look him in the eye one last time and realize that he gave his whole life to eradicating the dark side from the galaxy, or eradicating tyranny, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Good call. He's giving the motivational speech. I don't see any trace of Admiral Holdo in this, so I'm happy about that. Rey is continuing her training. Now Ivan's a swordsman, and the you can't take back a stroke of the sword, and especially with something as dangerous as a lightsaber, you really can't. And if you fuck up, then you lose a limb, or you lose a tip of your head, or so respect the blade. Then we see Luke coming out of the hangar bay. We see the evil blonde Nazi. Admiral Hux. I don't know, it sounds more Scottish, doesn't it? Admiral Hux. You fucking limey bastard. But in The Last Jedi, Hux was like comedic and pathetic, and he was a whipping boy. And in this, he actually looks like he could be a baby Tarkin and present some sort of threat as he evilly gazes on the hologram of the fucking space battle. Then we get to the war part of Star Wars. Okay. Kylo throws down the gauntlet, and then once again, green lightsaber. Good fucking choice. Speeders, we get the trenches. That was a good segue. We cut to space. See the lasers. People are running around going like, oh shit, shit in their pants. And I'm noticing it's almost musical. So they're showing a progression. They're like, while all the shit's going on, she's endeavoring to do better. It's not just, I bet you $1 he's going to make Octo seem like it took months instead of just like the 2-3 days she was there in the theatrical cut. Let's see. Kylo Ren inside the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. I remember when I saw that in the theater, that was one of the parts that I connected to, and I actually considered Kylo Ren to be the most fleshed out character in the theatrical cut. But to know like he's sitting in the seat that his father sat in for years, and to be aboard the ship that they kissed for the very first time, if it wasn't for the Falcon, fucking Ben wouldn't even be there. Got more training. I like that. Boom, explosion. This is the ramp up. This is the tension building. We got Rey in the fucking air. Kylo and Luke are doing the Kylo's daring Luke. It's almost like a Western. And then we get this touching scene between Leia and Luke. Because we all know that we lost Carrie Fisher. And to see them on the screen together again one last time, especially with how the looks in their eyes, they did a good job. And I don't know if Ivan edited the color on this, but like you can see in Luke's eyes and believe every word he says, which is kind of what the crime of The Last Jedi was, because it's not Mark Hamill's fault that the dialogue and the story was shitty. And obviously there were deleted scenes that they didn't use, but he is a consummate actor, and he has lived with this role for 40 fucking years. So even though he monumentally disagreed with the presentation of Luke, he still knocked it out of the park. And I want to say Carrie Fisher did too. You could tell in retrospect that she was more elderly and her body wasn't quite in as good as condition as it was portrayed. But nevertheless, this was a touching scene between the Skywalker twins, and the last time that we'll probably get to see them together, because they're gonna have to. I mean, Luke's gone, and Carrie Fisher is gone, so they're gonna have to figure out a way to kill off Carrie Fisher in Episode 9, and hopefully it's an honorable death. I also want to say that once again, music and sound effects are spot the fuck on. Ivan's a musician himself, so he's a dude who knows how to splice together some scenes, but use the sound effects for maximum impact, as well as music for emotional feels. The scene that really impressed me as far as that goes was when Kylo was pointing the red lightsaber and Luke was pointing the green lightsaber. You could hear the difference in the quality of the blades, but the music there was, I don't know, that scene is like suggestive of like a gunfight at the OK Corral or something. Not necessarily the music, but that's the vibe. It's like, who's going to make the first move? Who's going to do this right? And then if you've been following Ivan, you know that he hired a guy who could flip around and do the Form 4 shit. And they did lightsaber stuff. So I think that we're going to see some of that interspliced with, the Matrix shit, but done right. And I really think that Skywalker's really going to fly to Octo. I don't think he's going to do that thing, and the thing that I'm really curious about is Luke going to die in Ivan's cut. So I'll be drooling about that until it comes out. And then we'll probably do like a review, like a breakdown once the film actually drops. Because this is, I think our disappointment in The Last Jedi is directly related to our love for Star Wars in general. And this is Ivan's love letter to Star Wars. I really hope that people at Disney and Lucasfilm will pay fucking attention to this, because we as a community are more excited about fan films like this and fan films like Star Wars Theory, his Darth Vader movie, than we are about The Mandalorian. You canceled Boba Fett for The Mandalorian. And then, Star Wars Resistance. Like I say, links to all this stuff is going to be in the description below. Take a look at Ivan's stuff, give him a follow, ring his bell, do the subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And keep love for Star Wars in your heart. Yeah, this era of Star Wars has been shit, but, we'll continue to network and make those little neuron connections to real Star Wars and keep it alive right here and teach our kids what real Star Wars is. All right, YouTube. My name's Immortal Coil. Have a good one.